Okay, today I want to talk about content marketing. Now, if you've been following me on LinkedIn, you know that I talk a lot about content marketing. But today, instead of talking about or writing just a general post about content marketing and personal branding and why it's good for you, especially if you're an aspiring analytics or data science professional, I thought I would tell you a story, a personal story, about how I landed my first job on the SQL Server team at Microsoft. Okay, set the Wayback Machine to 2009, so almost 11 years ago now. I was working as an enterprise architect in Microsoft's IT department, and I've been in position for about a year, and I had this crazy idea. I decided I'm working for the world's largest software company. Why not try and get a job on a product team and experience what it is like to build products for Microsoft? I had a really supportive manager, which was great. So if he's watching, hey Chad, how's it going? And so I started this journey. And back then at Microsoft, and it's probably still the same thing today, the first thing you do is you network and you start scheduling interviews with hiring managers. Maybe you look at the HR website, find the hiring manager, and you schedule like a half-hour meeting. And it's known as an informational. At least it was back then. And you talk a little bit about talk to the manager a little about the position and about yourself, and you try and find if there's a potential fit because an interview loop is a big investment of time on everyone's part. So it doesn't make sense to do one if the fit isn't good to begin with. So I'll be honest, that was rough. It was a very, very demoralizing experience. I went on a lot of informational interviews. And most of the time, the conversations essentially boiled down to this: Dave, you've achieved a certain level of seniority in the space that you've been working for many years in your career. And to make a switch now as a principal program manager in a product team with no real product experience is basically a non-starter. So that was pretty tough. That was pretty demoralizing, but it got even worse. There were a number of instances where the hiring managers suggested that I down level. Say, look, Dave, it'd be much easier for you to find a job in a product team if you took a lower title, lowered your salary, lowered your stock options bonus, the whole schmear. Now, as you might imagine, I wasn't super thrilled with that idea, and it also was, again, very demoralizing. But I persisted, and eventually it happened. I landed a job working on the Oslo team in SQL Server, and I was super excited about it. And what I found out later was the critical differentiating factor was a series of blog posts that I had written while working as an enterprise architect in the IT department. And specifically, these blog posts were an embodiment of this idea of the T-shaped professional. I was using my breadth of experience and marrying that with a level of depth and expertise to create a series of creative blog posts, things that resonated apparently with the product team. I was unaware of this at the time, but I had gotten noticed by the product team based on the quality of the creative content that I was producing. So there you have it. Content marketing, it works. It was a critical differentiating factor for me in landing my first PM job in SQL Server. Right? Without that content, I probably wouldn't have landed the job. It differentiates me. It differentiated me, I should say. And this is something I write about on LinkedIn all the time. If you want to separate yourself from the crowd, if you're interested in landing a role in the competitive analytics and data science space, you need to do everything you can to differentiate yourself from the pack. So content marketing works. I'll put a link in the comments for the book title I just showed. I don't have a physical copy because I only have it on my Kindle. And you can take a look at it. It's a great book on content marketing. And take it from me, content marketing works. It really does work. So there you have it. Until next time, stay healthy and happy data sleuthing.